Ronald Reagan said trust but verify. President Obama is trust but vilify. He trusts our enemies and vilifies everyone who disagrees with him. And the reason we disagree with him has nothing to do with party. It has to do with the incredibly dangerous place that this world is going to be as a result of a deal in which we got nothing.
That was presidential candidate Mike Huckabee discussing President Obama's Iran deal during last night's GOP presidential debate. Joining us right now is Republican presidential candidate and former governor Mike Huckabee. Governor, good to have you on the program. Congratulations, fresh off of the debate last night. What was your takeaway from the big event last night?
Now, there's too many people on that stage, Maria. We got to get rid of some of them. So what I'm going to do today is suggest that at least half of them go ahead and drop out and endorse me and make the next debate a much more compact experience. Yeah, that would be my advice.
Who do you want to drop out?
Any of the five that might be polling better than me. That would be my choice.
I'm wondering if, we heard enough substance. Like this morning we're talking about Chuck Schumer. During the debate last night, he made news of his own back in New York, basically saying, I am not going to vote yes on the Iran deal. I am opposing the Iran deal. What's your take on that?
That's a very significant development, and I think that Chuck Schumer is probably the pivot person for this entire process. Chuck Schumer has always been a person who, legitimately and I think out of conviction, has been a strong, not just supporter of Israel, but a strong supporter of what makes for peace in the Middle East. And I believe that the significance of his decision, one that he clearly weighed very carefully, is maybe the main moment in this entire process. And I congratulate the senator. I know there was extraordinary pressure on him, unbelievable pressure from the party and from the White House. But I believe Chuck Schumer today proved that on this issue, he's a true statesman. He acted in the best interest of America, the best interest of Israel, the best interest of the world. And I'm grateful, and I salute him today for that.
Here's Dagen McDowell.
Governor Huckabee, I'll give you the chance for a do-over because you said something it just came off really strangely last night when you were talking about the fair tax and by which we fund Social Security and Medicare. You said because the money paid in consumption is paid by everybody, including illegals, prostitutes, pimps, and drug dealers, all the people that are freeloading off the system now. It was just you throwing out prostitutes and pimps. People were like, what are you talking about, Governor?
Well, people who live in the underground economy. I mean, how many people who are prostitutes, pimps, drug dealers, and illegal aliens do a 1040 form and tell the IRS how much money they made and pay taxes on it? Of course they don't. So, Dagen, here's the point. You're paying their taxes. I'm paying their taxes. Shouldn't they be paying their own way? And if they are not paying the taxes that fund the various programs that we say are running out of money, with a consumption tax, everybody pays, including the people who pay virtually nothing because passive income doesn't get taxed at the same rate as does wage income. And so therefore you have a declining funding stream. And so people keep wanting to say, let's cut the benefits for seniors. Why on God's earth would we cut the benefits for the seniors who have worked and paid in the money? Why don't we rearrange how that money comes in and keep the promises that we made to Americans? That's the point I'm making.
Real quick, John Bussey, jump in here, John.
Yeah, Governor, you were categorical in your condemnation of the Iran deal, saying that the United States got absolutely nothing. President Obama at American University earlier this week made a pretty compelling argument that the U.S. is getting a fair amount, including pushing out 10 years the development of any bomb, and even then having all sorts of actions the U.S. could take rather than 6 months, which is what the estimate is. Also that pointing out that sanctions would erode. You would not be able to keep this sanctions regime in place unless you moved ahead with a deal. Do you really feel that the president negotiated nothing?
I absolutely do. Look what he said over the previous few years. He said that there would be no enrichment at all. Now there's going to be. He said there would be inspection anywhere, anytime. Now it's going to be given 24 days. And also no inspections of their military facilities. But this whole idea of, well, it'll be 10 years. Do we realize think about how crazy that sounds? It's basically saying we're going to still kill you, but we're going to do it in 10 years. We're not going to do it in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy talk. So, no, we didn't get a thing. Our hostages are still sitting there. We should have negotiated that was a precondition to even sitting at the table, much less something that would come at the end of the deal.
Yeah, that's a great point. Governor, great to have you on the show today. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Governor Mike Huckabee, John